Hello and welcome back to another episode on Journey to Authenticity, a podcast helping you to become fully authentic on your journey to success. I'm your host, Braiden Belnap, and I'm a human just like you, striving to build a dream life, all while I stay true to myself. But as you know, it's Halloween in a couple of days, if not tomorrow. I forget when this is coming out. But point being is, what if you struggle with your past? What if you're struggling with something that's haunting you? Whether that's with yourself, with your relationships, with something in life overall. That's exactly why I have my beautiful wife, Maeghan Belnap, joining me today. Simply because we've gone through it. We've had a past. I think we all have. We have a present. And the best part about this is even though we have a podcast, even though I'm a coach, even though she's a therapist, if you know what I'm saying, we all have stuff to work through. We are always becoming more and achieving more. And to always get to the next level, no matter what level you're at right now, you have to overcome the next demons. With that in mind, welcome to the show, Maeghan.
Thank you. I'm excited.
This will be a good one.
Yeah.
Halloween's my favorite.
I know.
I know you might like the cute side of Halloween, but that's okay.
Yeah. Braiden wants to have like a full-blown graveyard skeleton, way scary Halloween decorations. And I'm like, let's get like a blow-up cow.
Anyways, I'm excited for this podcast. To jump right in, have you ever struggled with anything in your past?
Never. Ever. My life has been perfect. Yes.
We know that that's further from the truth.
Yeah, I've had a lot of struggles. So do we want to talk about personal struggles with romantic relationships, like struggles with friendships, family? What do we want to hit on?
Well, here's the truth to you and your question and everybody else is it doesn't matter what struggle we talk about because everybody has them. Mm-hmm. And what's going to really be important, I think we do need to let them know that we're human. We need to let you guys know that we're human. I want you guys to see the fact that we have also had struggles in our life. Although on the flip side, every struggle is relatable. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it matters what we share today. I think what matters is that people see that it's possible that whatever is haunting them, they can overcome.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, one thing that haunted me the most extravagant level is the fact that I stole money from my brother at such a young age. This came from deep-seated beliefs. Like I never believed. I mean, growing up, I was the happiest kid. I would look at a wall, point, and laugh. I was always the one that was making people laugh. I was always the one walking into rooms, and I genuinely know that I've been gifted the ability to recognize what people are really struggling with, whether they speak it up or not. I mean, from a young child, I would walk into rooms and I'd be able to recognize the people that were really sad, even though they weren't showing it. Although after my parents' divorce, as you guys know, or anybody that's been following me for a while and anybody that's new, it created three main limiting beliefs for me. That's that love is not real. Obviously, we've had to work on that one. I'd say we overcame that. Mm-hmm. Getting married at 19 and still married, that's a win. By the way, you guys, as we're recording this going into next week, we're going into 7 years marriage, 9 years together.
6 years.
I was trying to get us a better shout out. Love is not real. You never know what's real or what's fake. I genuinely believe that we had the best life. I mean, we had a 3-story house. We played sports. We did all the things that I believe any kid would ever dream of. Because at that age, it's not like, I want to drive a Lamborghini and this, that, and the third. I mean, maybe some kids, but I had everything that truly fulfilled me as a kid. And last but not least, I didn't know who I could rely on, so I only believed I could rely on myself. Going into 7th grade, I immediately jumped into drugs, alcohol, you name it. And in that process, the key thing that I believe drove me to steal from my brother is that love is not real, but I craved love. So by stealing money from my brother, it allowed for me to supply a good time, in quotations if you're watching this or just listening, for me and my friends, right? And that fulfilled that need then. But it created years of pain. And I don't regret it now. I did for a long time. I was like, I wouldn't have to apologize. I wouldn't have to do this. I wouldn't have to do that if I just wasn't an idiot. I never saw myself as doing that. But it haunted me for such a long time. Guilt, shame. I resented myself. I resented even my parents for it for a long time, because in a sense I became a victim to it. If my parents didn't get divorced, then I would have never been in that situation. But the moment that I became a victor, saying that this is on me, it's my responsibility to apologize. It's my responsibility to overcome this and to share this story. Not only did it help me heal, I believe it allowed my brother to heal. I would like to think so. I don't know. I can't speak for him. But I certainly know it's helped other people heal as well.
Mm-hmm. I love that that's a story that you're willing to share with people, because even if somebody hasn't stolen from somebody or, you know, done something to that degree, it's very easy to say things you don't mean or hurt other people's feelings. And so just you sharing that story and being vulnerable and being able to be like, hey, I apologized for doing this to my brother who I love dearly, and this really affected our relationship for years. That could go and inspire other people who are struggling. Maybe they lied to somebody, or, you know, maybe they did steal from somebody, or there's something that they did that they're needing to apologize to that person for. So you sharing that and allowing other people to hear that and to be able to relate to that can really inspire others to move forward and past the shame and the guilt and holding on to these negative emotions, and really be able to apologize to themselves, to others, to be able to release those and to move on. So I really love that you share that.
And I hate to say it, but it's kind of selfish, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to encourage everybody to be selfish here. And I'm going to propose a question to you all. How hard is it to hold on to whatever you're facing right now? Who is it? Is it affecting you? Is it affecting the people you love? Is it making it to the point that you're thinking about giving up on your dreams? How hard is it on your kids? Your future kids, for that matter, if you want kids, for me and you, for instance. What is that pain that you truly are causing by holding on to this? Because it's like holding on to a blade.
Yeah.
You don't win. It's just cutting deeper and deeper and deeper. And it hurts. And for hell, it's not even just a matter of holding on to that blade. By holding on to it, you're almost stabbing yourself in the back and twisting it around a couple of times. Getting a little gory because of the Halloween, you know.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
But what is the pain that it's truly causing you in your life? That is hard. Mm-hmm. It was so hard for me for years to resent myself, to hate myself, to have these toxic thoughts that were disgusting. I hated it. I hated myself for that matter. And I felt so guilty. And the moment that I went through a process, which we can go through a little later, of forgiving myself, I immediately became a new man. Immediately. Mm-hmm. It didn't take a year. Like, the reason that the transformation took so long is because I chose for it to take that long. Transformation is a moment. It's the moment that you say no more. This is causing me so much pain. And if I just forgave myself or whatever it is you're going through and just transformed, boom, you live a new life. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to take 2-3 years or however long this was. I could have immediately tackled it.
Because you were very young when you did that. And so this is just my opinion and my observation. I could be completely wrong. I feel like part of the reason that it probably took you so long is because you were so young and maybe a little bit more immature. And so it felt very intimidating to have that conversation the younger you were. But then as you got older, you're like, why am I holding on to this anymore? So
I would challenge that. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. But how many adults are willing to do that?
There are adults
out there.
There's
a lot of immature adults.
But the people who are willing to apologize and to come back and say, oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Can we redo this conversation? Or this is how I could have done this better. Those are the people who are emotionally mature.
Absolutely.
Like, there's emotional maturity. It takes a certain level of emotional maturity to be able to go to somebody and say, I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Because you're taking down your ego and you're being willing to open yourself up to another person.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I definitely didn't have the emotional maturity. I was learning on how to do that.
Yeah.
I wasn't taught that. I apologizing. What the hell is that? You know?
Yeah. Well, and it's scary, especially in your circumstance, because it involved your brother. Like, it involved somebody very close to you, and the fear of ruining that relationship. Like, you can control your actions, but you can't control somebody else. And Absolutely. So, you know, Christian is a very forgiving and awesome person. So it's like when you were, I need to apologize to him, I'm like, he's gonna be fine. Like, you're fine. But, you know, it is scary to say sorry to somebody because you don't know how they're gonna react. And you also have to kind of gear yourself up. If somebody does have a bad reaction to you apologizing, that's on them. That's not on you. Yeah. Like, you've said your piece, but you have to understand that when you are apologizing to somebody, you need to give them time to process through their emotions. Like, you can't just say, I'm sorry, okay, I'm good, we're good now. You have to let the other person in the situation kind of work through that, and then in some ways be there to support them through their emotions too. And just say, hey, I'm sorry I did this. If you have questions, if you blah, 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 let me know and I can help. If you need the help, I can help you work through the emotions with me.
Absolutely. 100%. So back to you.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you feel like has haunted you in your life that you took some time to work through?
Mine. So I'm a yapper. So and I'm kind of I've worked on it, but people pleaser. And so anytime somebody, like, energy was off or somebody was mad at me, like, I always wanted to fix the problem. So apologizing for me has been something that has come very easily because I hate contention. I hate having guilt or shame or anything. I just want to figure it out and fix it. So that hasn't been something that I've really struggled with. Something that I have struggled with is having a victim mindset has been something to me that I've really struggled with, and having good habits, because I didn't grow up in an environment where I was taught very good habits. So that has been something that I have had to severely work on. This year has actually been my kind of breaking point with my habits, because I don't want to continue to live in the same level of chaos that I've been living, if that makes sense. So habits is in, like, cleanliness. Like, my dresser drawers are always disorganized. My car is disorganized. Things like that. And so that has been something that has haunted me for years, because I've wanted to have a better life. I've wanted to set goals. I've wanted to have a routine, and it's just something that I'll commit to for a little bit, and then one day I'm like, this is too hard. I'm done. And then I get off the horse, and then I kind of go back to old habits. So I've been very conscious about setting a routine, having good habits. In the moment where I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this, it's like, remind myself, if you do it now, you don't have to do it later. Which one do you want to do?
So here's my question. You mentioned it's too hard. I'm just going to go back to bad habits. I'm assuming that that's subconscious.
That's subconscious, yeah.
But here's my question is, what is actually harder?
Well, the harder is going back to those old habits. Because if I'm like, let's do laundry, for example, because I feel like that is something to a core that is a hated chore in most households. And laundry, for example, it is so easy to get behind on laundry if you're not doing like a load or 2 loads a day. For us, because there's only 2 people, we don't need that much. Like, it's not that hard to stay up on it. But if you have a family and you're not keeping up on laundry, how easy is it to get overwhelmed with it? How easy is it to say, oh, I'm just going to put these clothes on my bed. Oh, I'm just going to do it tomorrow. But instead of putting the laundry on your bed, if you take the laundry and fold it out of the dryer and then go put it away, how much time does that actually save you? How much time are you not wasting in your head, like mental load wise, of having to do that later? So that is something that I have implemented in my thought process when I have a thought pop up that's like, oh, I'll just do it later. And there are some things that genuinely it's like, I'll just do this later because it's a bigger project or something and I don't have time for it, but I put it on the calendar. So then I'm allocating specific time to be able to do this task. So for me, that has been something that I've always struggled with and has held me back from being able to live less chaos or less stressful life, and something that I have been implementing and has made a huge difference in my life.
Absolutely. I think what we're getting at here is that it's just the power of choice. Joe Rogan often talks about it, but if you were your own movie and you had cameras walking around you all the time, what are the choices you would actually make?
Probably make better decisions and better choices.
Like, it's like, be the superhero of your own movie, right? If you had a camera crew walking around you all the time, what would you do? Because the truth is, if you had that camera crew walking around all the time, you wouldn't give in to those temptations. How would you actually treat that person? Mm-hmm. How would you actually treat yourself? Would you actually be okay with that bad habit that you've been doing for weeks, months, years? What would you do? So to get to the point of, I mentioned I would go over essentially how I've overcome. Obviously more of a relationship forgiveness. But the truth is, you guys, you cannot move forward without forgiveness. Forgiveness is what's going to get to the roots of that weed and take it all out. It's your blank slate, you guys. So how do you go about forgiveness? First and foremost, you got to actually own up to it. Don't be a victim to your situation. That's where I started. I'll be the first to admit it. That's why it took so long to actually transform my shit. Own it. Realize it. Look at it in the face. Really grasp the situation. Who's involved? What did you do? What did you say? What did you feel? What was your behavior? See all of the different angles of that situation, of what you're holding guilt for, resentment, shame, whatever the case is. And second, I don't care whether you're a Jesus believer, a Buddha believer, a universe believer, it doesn't matter. Give it up to God, you guys. Pray about it. Ask for forgiveness. Ask for guidance. That's going to be the best place to start, simply because you are not admitting to it right now to another flawed human being. You're praying, meditating, whatever your practice is, asking for forgiveness to somebody that is greater than everybody that you can see here in this world, with no judgment. It's the best part, is you're talking to somebody without it being a flawed human being. And then the second part, you guys, is you have to really realize, if you don't transform this, what is the pain you're going to cause for a lifetime? I mean, really think about this. Whatever you're facing right now, fast forward to being like, let's say 95 and you're on your deathbed. You want to deal with it then? Part of my language, and I'm sorry to any of the 95-year-olds that did this, but that's kind of a coward thing to do, honestly. You don't become the best version of yourself. You don't achieve all that you're capable of because you decide to wait to do it on your deathbed. Don't get me wrong. It's way better to do it on your deathbed than to die with it. I think we can agree with that. But why not do it now? Why not live free? What is the pain you're causing yourself? And on the flip side, what is the joy? What is the beauty? What is the amazingness that you're going to create for you and everybody around you if you so choose to overcome that? And then third, you obviously have to create that strategy. For me, my agreement was, even before I met my beautiful wife here, is that before I got married, I would apologize to my brother. That was kind of a coward thing to do too, because I could have done it just right there and then, instead of holding on resentment and guilt and shame and this, that, and the third for like years. Wasn't worth it. I did it though. And what that looked like is I created the apology through a letter written out. That way I got all the thoughts, the emotions. I read back on it and I think it sounds so silly. I was pretty young, but it was good. It made me to where I was able to say everything without allowing my emotions to speak, to where I miss a step per se. I took my brother out to dinner, and then afterwards I paid him back and I read the letter to him. And that was my forgiveness. And literally that night, I've never felt so free. It's like I did that. But I never felt so free because I became more in that moment. I showed myself that I was capable of hard things. And if you do that process with just about anything, even with habits, same thing is applied, right? You recognize the situation, you become a victor. You realize the pain, you realize the pleasure, you create a strategy to overcome it. And no matter what, you just stick to that decision. You will live a better life and you're going to leave whatever haunts you behind.
If you take that leap of faith in yourself and apologize or have tough conversations with yourself and with others, and really, like, in terms of habits, you have to have that conversation, that self-awareness of saying, hey, okay, I don't really like where I'm going. I don't like what's happening. How can I change that? Same thing with forgiveness. This relationship with myself or with this person, family member, friend, like a romantic relationship, whatever it may be, it's that conscious decision to say, I don't like the trajectory of where this is heading. And being able to take the steps necessary to change the outcome. And so whatever steps that is going to be different for everybody. But, you know, I loved what you said about like writing it out, giving it to God. Those are great steps that somebody can take to help them in that process. And then with scheduling habits, if that's something that you're wanting to do, wanting to change, and something that helped me is I will write out, like I kind of do it in different steps. And so something that has helped me is writing an agenda for the next day. So I kind of go and I think, okay, what is every single thing in my brain right now at this moment that I need to get done tomorrow? And then throughout the day, though, I have written tasks down on my calendar that I need to schedule for either the next day or the following week or weeks to come. And so by doing that throughout the day, but then also at the end of the day, just kind of itemizing things of stuff and then scheduling it on my next day or the week or the month, that has made a huge difference. I'm not forgetting things. I'm actually getting stuff done. My day is planned out for me, so that completely takes out the mental load of having to remember anything.
So what I'm hearing in that, just to summarize that, is that the night before, you schedule your day.
Yeah.
From when you're going to go to sleep to when you're done with work to when you're actually going to go back to bed. Mm-hmm. And then throughout the day, as you figure out more things that you have to do, you just simply write out a list.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, you pre-schedule that for either the next day or following days to come.
Yes. Because then you're not overwhelmed thinking, I have to get this done today, I have to get this done tomorrow. It makes it so your schedule is very intentional. And so that has been something that has helped me because I work close to 32 hours a week. I work on Braiden Belnap stuff 20 hours a week. And then I manage a lot of our household chores because we have the same schedule. So for me to be able to get all that done, it has been impossible if I don't have a schedule. I'm not getting stuff done. But having had a schedule, I have been way, way, way more productive. And actually I'm like, oh, I have like 2 hours today. I can go do this. I can go do something I want. Where before, I would sit on my phone for 4 hours and then at the end of the day be like, I had no time to do anything today. So having a schedule has made a huge difference in my life.
Absolutely. Run with it, you guys.
Yeah.
It's you don't have to hold on to guilt, resentment. You don't have to hold on to bad habits. You don't have to be haunted. You can transform it and live the cute Halloween over the scary one.
Yeah, Megan's vibe versus Braiden's vibe for Halloween.
For Halloween.
We should have worn like Halloween costumes.
That would have been a little cheesy, but it would have helped with marketing.
Well, okay, I have my, where is it? It's this one. This is my Lady Buller Caxi necklace.
Buller?
Yeah, Lady Buller. Because she has a Lady Baller one. This is the Lady Buller. Like Boo, ghosty. So I'm dressed up.
All right. Well, I guess Caxi's paying for this podcast now. Just kidding. Anyways, thank you all for showing up today. If you like what both Meg and myself had to say today, be sure to like and subscribe. This helps me to get the most interesting guests, most qualified guests to help you transform your life. Also, why I have you guys here. If you are ready to transform your life, if you're ready to stop being haunted, whether that's by bad habits, not serving emotions, you name it, and you're ready to transform your life, go to braidenbelnap.com or the link below. Apply for my one-on-one coaching, and I would love to help you guide you through a transformational journey. Have a good one, everybody.